Hey, I'm James Azar with CyberHub Engage. Today is Monday, June 10th, 2019, and here is your 60 Seconds of Cyber. Microsoft researchers have issued a warning on Friday afternoon about an ongoing spam wave that is spreading emails carrying malicious RTF documents that infect users with malware without the user interaction. Once users open the RTF document, Microsoft said the spam wave appears to target European users as the emails are sent in various European language. In other news, an exposed database belonging to Shanghai Jiao Tong University exposed 8.4 terabytes in email metadata after failing to implement basic authentication demands. The exposed server was discovered on May 22, 2019 by Cloudflare Director of Trust and Safety, Justin Payne. As described on the rainbowtable.es security blog, Payne found the Elasticsearch database through a Shodan search. The open database contained 9.5 billion rows of data and was active at the time of discovery, given that its size increased from 7 terabytes on May 23rd to 8.4 terabytes only a day later. 8 years after the U.S. law enforcement opened the first case in the operation of the Mariposa Butterfly BFBOT malware gang, officials are now moving forward with new charges and arrest warrants against 4 suspects. The original case started way back in May 2011 when U.S. officials first filed a complaint against 3 European hackers. The investigation into this group's operation unearthed a cybercrime empire and eventually led to the takedown of the infamous Dark Code Hacking Forum, a famous meeting place for high-end hackers. Last week, U.S. officials unsealed new documents in the investigation, including charges against a 4th U.S.-based hackers. The 4 suspects now are Matej Skrjic, also aka Isidoro, aka Isidoro 32 of Slovenia, Francisco Carrillo Ruiz, aka Netkick 40 of Spain, Mentor Luigi, aka Iceman of Slovenia, and Thomas McCormick, aka Fuber in Washington State in the US. That's it for today's cyber news. Make sure you're following us and subscribing. We post these daily, so make sure you do that and share this with your friends. That's it for today. We'll be with you guys tomorrow.
Hey, I'm James Azar with CyberHub Engage. Today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2019, and here are your 60 seconds of cyber. U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency admitted today to a data breach that occurred at one of its subcontractors, during which a hacker stole license plate and facial recognition photos. CPB has learned that a subcontractor in violation with CBP policy and without CBP's authorization or knowledge had transferred copies of license plate images and traveler images collected by CBP to a subcontractor's company's network. This is what the agency said in a short press release. The subcontractor's network was subsequently compromised by a malicious cyber attack, it added. Furthermore, TalkTalk hacker who blackmailed executives was sentenced to 4 years in jail yesterday. Daniel Kelly, who is 22 years old, first hacked the college that didn't accept him. After that, he targeted companies in Canada, Australia, and the UK, blackmailing 6 executives for bitcoins. Finally, a new botnet dubbed Goldbrute is using brute force or credential stuffing methods to attack vulnerable Windows machines that have exposed remote desktop protocol connections, according to a new research from Morphus Labs. While the end goal of the group controlling the botnet is not clear, it appears that Goldbrute is currently using brute force methods to attack about 1.5 million remote desktop protocol servers that have exposed connections to the open internet. Renuto Monero, the chief research officer with Morpheus, writes in a blog that was published on Thursday. And for final news, the band Radiohead, whoever's a fan, was a victim of hackers that stole old recordings from the band and demanded $150,000 not to release him. Radiohead subsequently said, "We'll just release him for everyone to enjoy for free." Thank you, Radiohead. We appreciate all the new 8 hours of music you're releasing for free. That's it for today's news. Make sure you're following us and subscribing to the CyberHub Engage channel. See you guys tomorrow. Hey everyone, James Azar here with CyberHub Engage. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, 2019, and here are your 60 seconds of cyber. The FBI has issued a public service announcement regarding TLS-secured websites being actively used by malicious actors in phishing campaigns. They're exploiting the lock sign in the HTTPS that we've been accustomed to trusting. They're doing so by designing a TLS secure landing page which exploits the user's trust, your trust, into giving them your personal and sensitive information. The FBI suggests to do the following. Don't simply trust the name on an email. Question the intent of the email. If something seems out of the ordinary, it probably is. If you're receiving a suspicious email with a link from a known contact, confirm that email by either calling, texting, or emailing, but don't directly reply to that email. Check for any misspelling or wrong domains within a link. For example, if it's a .gov ending and it comes from a .com, realize it's probably phishing. And finally, don't just trust the lock and HTTPS in the address bar. Popular website Evite has confirmed that the breach that we reported on in February involved cybercriminal that accessed data in a file that contains username, email addresses, passwords, date of birth, phone numbers, and mailing addresses. Could have potentially affected their users. It's now known that the breach has been successful because the hacker has posted all that data for sale on the dark web. And finally, yesterday was the second Tuesday of the month. Microsoft issued its latest monthly security updates, and there are 4 fixes for the zero-day threats published recently by the Sandbox Escaper. In total, there are 88 different vulnerabilities in this update, and 21 of them are labeled critical. So make sure you're out there, you're patching and updating. That's it for today's news. Tune in, make sure you subscribe and follow us for more cyber information daily here at CyberHub Engage. Hey everyone, James Azar here with CyberHub Engage. Today is Thursday, June 13th, 2019, and here are your 60 seconds of cyber. After a 2-year absence, the hacking group known as Finate has returned with a new campaign mainly targeting point-of-sale systems and machines in the hotel industry in an effort to steal credit card data and other payment data. This is according to a new research from security firm Morphosyc. As with previous hacking attempts, this new attack started with a spear phishing campaign that would allow Finate Group to install the Shell T malware backdoor into a victim's network in an effort to steal data from the point-of-sale devices. ASCO, one of the world's largest suppliers of airplane parts, has ceased production in factories across 4 countries due to a ransomware infection, as reported at its plant in Zaventem, Belgium. As a result of having IT systems crippled by the ransomware infection, the company sent home approximately 1,000 employees out of their 1,400 employees. Also, Telegram Messenger has recovered from a distributed denial of service attack that hit its platform on Wednesday, telling its 200 million plus users on Twitter that for the moment things seem to have been stabilized. IP addresses coming mostly from China were attributed to the DDoS attack. This is coinciding with the protests that are going on in Hong Kong that apparently are being organized through the Telegram platform. And this case was no exception, as Telegram reported that previously, whenever there were protests about China in Hong Kong, the service typically experienced a similar attack. That's it for today's news. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on all of our social media channels. You can follow me directly as well. We'll be back tomorrow with more on the cyber news in the industry.
Hey everyone, good morning. Today is Friday, June 14th, 2019. I am James Azar with CyberHub Engage, and here are your 60 seconds of cyber. So yesterday I reported that the Finate Group has returned targeting point-of-sale devices with malware. There's going to be patch releases, from what I've been told, to help deal with this specific malware. Make sure you're checking with your manufacturer of your point-of-sale machine just for that. Furthermore, analysis has shown the House approved yesterday lifting the HHS ban on unique patient IDs. The House of Representatives has approved an amendment that would lift a 20-year ban on the Department of Health and Human Services funding the development or adoption of a unique national patient identifier. Plenty of hurdles remain, but this is a very, very critical issue for privacy and security as well, and we're going to report more on that on our Goodbye Privacy podcast next week. In other news, the Telegram DDoS attack that was launched by China has now been confirmed to be of Chinese launch against the Telegram app to quiet down the protests in Hong Kong. And yesterday, Instagram went offline for about an hour, causing Twitter to surge in popularity. So people ran from Instagram to Twitter to find out why Instagram wasn't working. Further proof to the useless need of Twitter. That's it for today. This has been a very, very busy and exciting week. We will be summarizing our entire week news on YouTube and publishing that later today. So if you've missed it all, you don't have to go and watch all every single day separately. You can go to our YouTube page, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and you can get all of your week's news at once and see all the headlines at just one time in as little as 5 minutes. That's it for us here today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and follow us. That's it. See you guys on Monday.